everyone, my name is Carla Hacheso, and today I'll be your host for the second episode of Premier Academy's Eco Podcast. Today, I'm joined by Liam Silva, Sarah Chege, Natalie Murevi, and Ahana Wazir, and we shall be discussing change and how it affects personal growth and mindsets. To start us off, in the recent past, we all faced the COVID-19 pandemic that changed our lives completely. How did you guys react to this change, and how do you think it changed the way you perceive the world today?
I think COVID definitely came at a time where all of us were going through changes, right? I mean, I was 9, 10, 8. So as you can tell that we were all at very awkward stages of our life. Definitely, you can say that. Such younglings, really.
Truly.
So definitely the change which was happening not only mentally, because you're going through adolescence, but also just how you interact with the world, changing because of COVID was detrimental, insane.
Yeah, I feel like it was because COVID was such a 180 from the way things were going in general. You can't hug anyone, you can't see people, you can't, we were wearing a mask at all times, you're social distancing. Everything became so much so about how you existed physically that growing up in that point in time, it's like you kind of lost sight of what actually used to be important to you,
Yeah.
And then since that was for 2 years, and it was just like, perspective changing as well,
I think it really also had a big impact on our relationships. Because you're at home with your family all the time, so you're either gonna grow way closer or really another person. So you need to be nice because these are the only people you have for all that time.
You're so right.
Yeah, I would say that. But also, life during COVID was easier because everything used to be in the house. You didn't have to go to shop or anything. Everything would come to you. And speaking for me, school life was easier. Not the part of when, missing your friends and everything when it came to exam, because
School life was easier when it came to
exam. I think the average for everybody was
it was good marks.
Even I used to get quite high for what I currently get. But when we came back from COVID, I felt like it hit us really hard.
You're right. Yeah, and on the thing for how it hit our education, it was really scary because you're going from being online and you're doing these multiple choice exams that are okay, what's the answer in math? 7 or pink, purple, and green. You know what I mean?
Right.
Obviously it's 7, and then you're doing physical papers again, and you just feel like with that pandemic also your intelligence has just gone.
Especially being on your phones all the time. Okay, now where we currently all are, being teenagers and being in middle school slash high school, especially. How do you guys? We're all going to be sitting board exams very soon. The IGs, the Year 9 checkpoints, which I heard they're doing GP by the way, which is insane.
What?
Yeah. You're doing GP and checkpoints.
Yeah, so that's exactly because I love GP. So
just wait.
Just
now. You
have
GP
now. I'm excited for that.
Okay, I have GP now.
So how are you guys? This is obviously a change. Studying takes now a much higher importance in our lives with these coming up. What are some changes that you guys will make to kind of adjust yourself to this new phase of life?
Alright, I think for year 10s, we can agree that we've basically been doing our IGs, physically doing IGs, practicing for the second you touch down in year 10 immediately, right?
Exactly.
Even year 9 and 3, really, that's when we started, right?
Candidates.
Yeah.
My friend,
you're not ready.
it's all downhill
You're
from
not
here.
ready. Just be happy right now. Be happy right now.
Right. So I think you can all agree that the change from year 9 to year 10, it was insane.
Yeah, you're right.
Teachers always you would be able to cope, but they don't emphasize how crazy it was.
You will not be able to cope unless you lock in this.
And for coming from year 9.
Oh my god, and year 9 was such a breeze, I feel like.
Yeah.
In the sense that you had done checkpoint, and obviously there's pressure for checkpoint. You're scared, it's your first board exam since year 6. But after checkpoint is done, and also during the preparation for checkpoint, you're not really stressed out like that until now you've come for IGCSEs, we're in year 10, we're starting year 10. And not only are our internal exams so difficult, it feels more pressuring because everybody around you, all of a sudden, they see you, and it's not like they see kind of who you are, they see where you are in life.
Yeah.
So it's you're a candidate, and it's you're almost turning 16 and this and that. So many big events coincide. And to answer your question on what changes I'm making to kind of counteract that change in my reality, it's that I think the only thing you really can do as well is change your mindset. Like, if you take everything everyone says to your heart, then you're gonna crumble within like a month or two.
I like that. Like, I really like that because, like, right now, it's always, you guys are pre-candidates. Everything you learn in year 8 is going to be in year 9 exams. So, like, it's really just being able to, like, pay attention but realize that it's not going to be the end of the world.
You're right.
So, like, kind of compose yourself even during these classes and when you're studying and balancing everything.
I think to say more about the it's not the end of the world, that's also a good change for the mindset.
Yeah.
Especially if you come from year 9, like passing your exams and everything. Year 10, of course, new syllabus, new everything, you will not be passing. So I feel like some people will definitely be able to take it to heart, right? And it's just up to you to grow and change your mindset to understand that, okay,
So
this
when
is
you
a new
guys,
change, yeah.
so when you guys are talking about change your mindset, Liam, what kind of changes are these that do you think they could be referring to about changing your mindset?
What I would say is, changing how you think about exams. Because, for example, when you're sitting your end of term exams, the pressure is there, like you feel the pressure.
Yeah.
So what you try to do with your mind is you try to tone the pressure down. Just say it's like a normal exam, nothing major about it. But for some people, I understand when you get into the exam room, the anxiety hits you. Yeah. So what you could do to help that is, calm yourself down before the exam. The exam will not be the end of your life, and there will always be room for improvement from there on.
There's other exams that are going to happen. You know what I mean? Like, they make it sound like it's do or die. Like, if you don't pass your O levels, you don't pass your year 10. Yeah, now you're a failure for the rest of your education. But in line with changing your mindset and changing how you view examinations, it's so important that you don't see everything as finite. You know what I mean? Because quite literally, the only thing that is finite is your existence. So if you put your whole, like, you put the entire pressure of your very long life on this one point in time, then you're gonna crumble under the smallest amount of pressure.
You won't be able to move on.
Yeah.
Grow at all.
Okay, so moving past the school life and being a teenager and going out with your friends and all that, how do you, like, in future, we're gonna move away from the time, because right now being kind of like confined by timetables and schedules set by your parents and screen time limits and all that.
Screen time limits and all
that. So when we move past this point in life where like education is the center of our
life.
Our life, and we now change to a more like independent lifestyle, what are some things that you guys think that you would do to make sure that you're not thrown off by like the busyness of that, because the world keeps moving? So what changes would you guys make to ensure that you're not confused or lose yourself out there?
Like when you graduate?
Like once you graduate, like once you finish with school, like school is no longer controlling, for lack of a better word, controlling you. Like you're free. What changes will you make to ensure that you don't lose yourself? Because you don't have those as much like guiding figures that keep you like in line and all that. You're not that rule bound anymore actually. So what changes will you make to ensure that you don't lose yourself and still continue to grow, even if it's in different ways?
I think for me, it's building upon like consistency and like intentionality. So if I say I'm gonna do something, then I'll just make sure that I'm able to actually stick to it. So even when I get into my hobbies, work and all, I'll be able to be like, okay, every day I'm gonna do this and that. So I can actually stick to that instead of like being like, okay, maybe I won't do it today and just doing something else that throws me off completely.
So you think kind of just like setting a to-do list and following it to the T.
I feel like in the same breath as that, for me, if I don't have something in my day telling me like I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this, then I will just do nothing all day every day. So it's one of the fears of mine that I'll leave school and I'll lose all motivation to do anything whatsoever because I don't have a set routine. So definitely one of the first changes I plan to make, or one of the first changes one of the first steps I'll take once I graduate or once I'm done with schooling is to ensure I still have some kind of rules bounding myself, but now it's not an external rule. it's an internal rule
It's
that I
up
set
to
for
you.
myself.
Yeah.
Another factor is I feel like staying connected to your relationships, specifically with family. You need to remember that, let's say we ended up going to different countries, right? I feel like staying connected with your family is kind of like having an anchor back home.
Grounding. It's
Yeah,
grounding.
and just remembering that no matter where you are, you still are having connections to who you were originally with. You know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good.
Personally, I'm so excited for my screen time limit to be gone. To be
Oh.
complete. Like I'm so excited. I'm like, just wait. But I feel like I agree with all of you guys. I feel like a routine is really important to kind of keep you, set in place and keep myself knowing that like at the end of the day it's up to me. No one is following me, and I have myself to hold accountable.
Yeah.
So kind of shifting the conversation a little bit. What is one big change that you guys recently made or are planning to make that has like really shifted your mindset like towards life as a whole?
Okay, that's a really good question. I think I'll just start us out. Recently, first of all, I just entered year 10, as we were talking about before, and I'm about to go to year 11 and do the O levels. But there was a point in time in my recent past where I thought I was going to have to move. Like I thought I was going to, we were mentally prepared for me to be moving countries, and we had talked to the schools and everything. And when I heard that news, I expected to feel so much like sadness and all this and that because I've grown up in this school since I was like,
Since you were born in this school.
from Episha into Premier Academy. But like not even the actual change itself, but the concept of that change in theory impacted the way I was moving about my day-to-day life so heavily. And that you feel like you have so much time with the people around you. You feel like you have so many opportunities to do whatever you feel like you have to, but quite literally you do not. And so one of the big changes that I made when I thought that I would be doing that is doing everything with intention. Like everything that I was doing, everything I was inputting myself and my time into, I made sure it was something I really enjoyed, with people I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
And that just changed my everyday life so immensely.
I agree with that because recently I myself also, we had the MEN for this year, and I had signed up for the ECA MEN, the Association of Africa. Then I was pushed down to the MS, which is like a change for me because I was not expecting, first of all, to go for MEN without my friends. Like I was like, oh my gosh, because I was always with my friends, like
I understand.
Yeah, I didn't even like branch out that much.
Yeah.
But then, so at first I was like kind of upset, and like everyone around me who was also bummed out was kind of upset about it. Then I realized like the change is not as terrible as you thought it would be. Once I shifted my mindset and like told myself, I don't have to. Yeah, it's not as bad as I think it is. Like people were funny. I met so many new friends, and dare I say I had much more fun. Like this conference that I did last conference, which made me realize like not all change is bad. Like some change, like going from your 9 to 10, that was insane. Yeah, I felt a bit like whoa, like
Yeah, you're right.
But like this change was fun, and that's when I realized like change can go both ways, and really it's up to your mindset to determine how you're gonna feel going through this change. It's going to happen regardless. Like my best friend likes to say, change is the only constant thing in life. So we have to learn how to move with it and kind of adapt with it.
Who's your best friend?
Who's the best friend? I don't know. I forgot their name.
You forgot
I forgot its name.
Oh my.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on this, Sarah?
I think one thing that I like to do, like to be able to prepare myself, is just being able to make a list. I need lists to really ground me and be able to actually be ready for the change. And I really like that on like mentally preparing yourself, because this change is gonna happen anyway. So how you look at it, I think, is the like biggest factor on all of that. So yeah.
Okay. What about you, Natalie?
I think any new changes that have happened to me is, I think majority of us have reached an age that our parents have kind of set back on the responsibilities. You're expected to study, right?
Yeah, you're so right.
You're expected to just go through your day-to-day routine. And it's not like they sat you down and told you, now I'm not going to be telling
They
you.
just kind of pulled out by themselves.
Yeah, it's just slowly backed up. And I feel like it was up to myself to realize that like, hey, I got to do my homework. Like I got to go study. And clearly, if I don't, the results are there.
Yeah.
Right? So definitely a change of just pulling myself into the will of wanting to, of just knowing that I need to study and just do my own responsibilities. Like even for example, I'm a GP student.
Yeah.
That GP report.
She's a GP student.
She's a GP student, by the way.
I
Not
cannot wait to
recommended.
be soon enough.
GP,
I can wait.
You're
You can
told
wait.
to do that individual report, like you are reminded a lot, but like still only
Nobody's
once.
forcing you.
Nobody will be forcing you, and please remember that's going to be your IGCSE grade. So again, that's just an example of the responsibilities which which are put onto you, and that you need to realize, hey, I need to
Get it together.
Yeah, but nobody's chasing you. Like even like Liam, you were saying previously, you face a lot of anxiety when you're studying these exams and things like that. And in line with what Natalie said, now it's like there's nobody forcing you to do anything at all. So if you don't want to study for your exams, don't study for your exams.
Yeah.
Then you sit with that paper, and it's you and that paper. You get your results. It's you and your results.
Yeah, so I think we can all agree then that change is something that's constant and something that we all face, and there are both the good and bad sides of it. And it's up to our mindset for us to determine how we go about facing these changes. So thank you so much, guys, for having this conversation with me today. And that's it. That's